Evening and welcome to Tarot Thursday. This is Reverend Mary Hawk, and tonight my special guest is Reverend Don Lewis. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And so, uh, for everyone watching, we just post your questions in the chat, and we'll be happy to do a few card pull. I usually say a 3 card, but it never quite works that way for Reverend Don.
No, I just can't help myself.
No, you can't. And it's good to see you again. I last saw you 2 weeks ago at the Parliament.
That's true. No, that was quite an event.
It was. It was an incredible event. It really was. And we did Tarot Thursday on the floor of the Parliament with Reverend Brian,
Yes, indeed.
which was a lot of fun. And hello to everyone joining us. If you've got a question, just go ahead and post it in chat or just say hi. I see we've got some people coming in now. And a shout out to all our friends in Florida and Georgia and the Carolinas. I hope you all are staying safe. Hello to Diane and Arlene. Good to see you. Hi, Christine and Amanda and Brenda.
Hello, everyone.
And if you got a question, go ahead and post it. Now, we'll mention that doing tarot live on the floor of a multi-religious gathering is interesting.
I can imagine.
At one point, we had a bit of a line, and then we also had several people who all but shuddered at our offer of a free tarot reading. And Renee wants a general reading. All right, Renee, we can do that. Hey, Amanda. Well, I don't do wants to know if we can ask about anything. We don't do readings for about third parties who are not present. So you can't ask about your neighbor's sister's cousin. And just a second, Renee. We had a jumper.
Yeah, I had a jumper as well.
Oh, interesting. The cards are getting pretty jumpy here, Renee.
So, what was your jumper?
My jumper was the body.
Ah,
What was yours?
2 of Swords.
All right. Do you want to go first?
Sure. So, our first card is the Two of Lamps. And the Two of Lamps has to do with looking at the future and making decisions for the future. Bringing different things together to create that future, things that are already around you, but maybe not in the form that they're going to be around you. And With that is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords says there may be things around you generally at this time that might make you feel like you can't do everything that you want to do, or maybe you're not able to act on everything you'd like to act on. Um, Along with that looking toward the future. And then the Eight of Swords is saying kind of the same thing. You may be feeling a little held back just at this time. The Two of Swords says that there are other people who will be of help to you in dealing with that. And let us draw a couple more cards. So we will draw the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands actually is getting something that you have wanted. It's celebration in community. So it's saying that while you may feel held back right now, that is not going to last. So don't let it overcome you. A lot of people are feeling that way right now with all the planets in retrograde and everything else. Don't let it become, don't take it for more than it is. We have the Princess of Cups and we have Fortune. And the Princess of Cups is feeling your emotions, but trying not to let them overrule you. So feel the emotions by all means, but again, remember that feeling of being held back is momentary and is not going to hold you back indefinitely. The Fortune represents getting a gift from fate. You're going to find that when things move forward, they'll move forward quite at once, actually. And let me draw one more. We're drawing the Emperor. And the Emperor kind of speaks to the whole aspect of this reading. Things go up, they come back down. The Emperor to me is cycles. And it says, right now you may be feeling a little held back, but that's going to change and you'll move forward and you'll feel much better about it. But it is the nature of life that we have all seasons. And so that is part of it. And there you go.
Okay. Well, the first card I have is the Body. Trying to get it to show. I'm using a background tonight because I just moved and this place is a mess. Here we go. And with the Body, it means that there is an issue you don't know everything about. So, and there are some unintended consequences of your actions. So be careful what you do and think things through carefully because whatever you do can have some unintended consequences. Next, we've got the Ten of Lamps. All right, if I stick it in front of my face, you can see the card. And with the Ten of Lamps, we're talking about coming to a point in your spiritual journey where you're reaching a point of mastery. And then we have the Nine of Wands. And this is a card. Here we see a woman in prison, but this is about waiting. It's not always quite that dire, like being in prison, but it does mean you're in a situation where the time is not right for things to move yet. So it's very similar to Reverend Don's reading. And I would say consider your actions carefully because you don't know where what consequences they might have, especially since everything went retrograde. And be prepared for the situation to not move and then suddenly move. And I hope that is helpful. And then let's see, chat. While we were doing readings, chat kind of stacked up here. Hello to Lynn. And Lynn has asked for a general reading. Hi, Fluffy.
Hi, Fluffy.
Amanda wants a reading about her job. Hi, Cherry. Hello, Magical Mermaid and Melanie. And Melanie wants a general reading. And Magical Mermaid says a time for patience. Yes. And I will throw in, we need to be patient with each other during times of retrograde. Okay, so
Thank you,
we
Renee.
need to do a general reading for Lynn next.
Okay. I don't know if you saw Renee says, thank you, both readings were great.
You are welcome, Renee. No, I did not see that because I was getting straight in my head. Who has asked for a reading? So we don't miss anybody.
Yep.
Get shuffled up here. And it's a night for jumpers. All right, now I just dropped a bunch of cards.
And Brian says, flex those wrists.
Brian, you are so right. I did not do my wrist flexes before I got started. Okay. So the first card I've got and the jumper is the Eight of Lamps. And here we see Lady Chalk Eck in a position of meditation. With the Eight of Lamps, we are looking at working on refining is the word I'm getting here. Is the word I'm getting for you. Refining control. Which is not what I was going for with that card, but it's what I'm getting. Then I have the Ace of Cups. So Cups is the suit about our emotions. And given the words refining there, I'm going to say that you are dealing with a lot of emotional issues right now. And I've gotten here, I have gotten the Five of Cups, which generally means an emotional loss. And so I'm going to say You need to work through your emotions, experience them, but don't let them overmaster you, is the sense I'm getting here, Lynn. And I hope that's helpful.
My turn?
Your turn.
Okay, the first card that I have is the Prince of Swords. The Prince of Swords is healthy selfishness. It says that in looking at your situation, Lynn, you should really make sure that you're getting what you need from it. When I first started reading, I understood the Knight of Swords or Prince of Swords as being a negative card that indicated someone who was being overly self-centered. But what I learned when I started doing more and more readings is that when it came up, what it actually meant is they were not being sufficiently self-centered. It meant they needed to become more self-centered. So my first piece of advice to you in dealing with your situations is to make sure you're getting what you need from them. And it's nice if everyone else is getting what they need too, but you need to get what you need as well. With that, we have the Princess of Pentacles. And the Princess of Pentacles is having everything that you need, but still tending to stand back for some reason. So as you look at your situation, realize you can do more than you may be seeing, certainly more than you're actually doing, once you choose to actually do it. And the thing that you need, again, to decide to do that is to make sure that you're looking at what you need, not what everyone else needs. If you're looking at what everyone else needs, you're just going to be tired at this point. Instead, look at what you need, and you'll find that you have the strength for pursuing it. And then we have the Princess of Cups, and the Princess of Cups, again, is emotion and experiencing your emotions, but not letting them overwhelm you. This is a card where sometimes emotions can overwhelm. So you want to make sure you're guarding against that and making certain that without shutting off your emotions, that you're not letting them make the decisions for you. Use your mind for the decisions, use your emotion for the reaction to the situation. And let's draw one more. And we've drawn Temperance, and Temperance is bringing together different things to create something new. So as you go forward in this period, if you listen to those pieces of advice, first, a healthy dose of selfishness, and secondly, actually stepping up to act, you'll find you're creating new situations for yourself that will last for some time and will do very good things for you. And there you go.
Okay, Lynn, I hope this is helpful to you.
So who do we have next?
Okay. Let's see. And I just want to see. Diane says, Reverend Dunn, how are you feeling? You look great. And Cherry says, update about last week's reading. So Petty Queen went on vacation, and my new prospect for a job is on hold, very on spot with the readings. So thanks for the update, Cherry.
Yes, indeed. And I'm feeling much better than I was. So yay. And thank you, Diane, for your kind words.
Okay. So next up, we are doing a reading for Amanda about her job. She wants to know what we see happening for her.
Okay.
And if someone wants to book a reading with you, Reverend Don, how would they do that?
They can email me at donlewishp@aol.com, or they can instant message me on Facebook.
Okay.
And if for any reason you try instant messaging me on Facebook and don't hear back, then go ahead and email. because I found that there was kind of the equivalent of a spam folder that some of them have accidentally gone into that I did not realize. But mostly I'll see it. So for Amanda's job, our first card is the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is conflict. There may be outer conflict or inner conflict. It may have to do with not being entirely comfortable with some of the things happening. In fact, I'd say that there is a certain discomfort with some of what's happening, but it might be a specific individual or it might be a situation. And then with that, we have the Two of Lamps, which suggests that you might be looking at different ways of handling that discomfort or even possibly different jobs. But definitely looking at the future, looking at how to take things that are already there and make new things from them, and particularly how to handle that conflict. And then with it, we have the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is a card of success. So it says that actually your outcome in the situation is going to be successful. So while you may be feeling that conflict, the outcome of the situation will be positive. So don't let that conflict overtake your mind, but instead focus on the positive outcome, and you will have it. I'm going to draw one more. I'm going to draw two more. And I'm going to draw three more because they want that. So the one more was the Five of Swords, which is feeling like you can't do everything you want, feeling oppressed by the situation. That would be that conflict again. With it is the Six of Cups, which indicates that some past influences are affecting the situation, that maybe in terms of how to best resolve it. And the Eight of Lamps, which is the ability to master the things that you need to get that positive outcome. So there you go.
Okay. Well, the first card, and I see my virtual background just said, I'm done. So now y'all can just kind of see the mess. Well, from this angle,
Actually,
you
you
can't see
cannot.
much of the mess behind me. I
No.
just moved. So the first card I've got is the Two of Pentacles. And here we have a young man working on his trade under the guidance of, he's an apprentice working under the guidance of his master. So, regarding your job, first of all, uh, you may need to be looking at mastering some new skills and looking for a mentor who can help you with this. Next, we've got the Queen of Lamps. And with this card, I'm going, in this context, I'm going to say again, you need to be looking at what you need to learn further about your situation. Then I've got the Nine of Wands, which is saying you're in a situation where there's going to be a change, but it's not quite right. And this time I'm the one getting one more card here, and I've got the Three of Lamps. So this is talking about working together in community. So I'm going to say if you are considering changing jobs, you need to start networking. Put out your feelers, start talking to other people you know, and say you are looking and what you're looking for. because if you want to change, that's how you're going to find your next opportunity, is through networking. And I hope that is helpful for you, Amanda. All righty. Okay, and who do we have next? Melanie said good evening, and Melanie asked for a general reading. All right. I'm going to finish up with the cards over the table in case anything else jumps. All right. So the first card I've got for you, Melanie, is magic. So whatever is going on in your situation, you've got the ability to manifest what you want. However, the next card is the Nine of Cups, the wish card. So you have to be very clear on what it is you want to manifest. Because with this card, it means you will get what you want, but you need to be sure your conscious mind and your subconscious mind are working together. And then finally, we have the Hierophant, which is talking about appealing to your higher self. So it's a very fortunate reading. You can definitely go wherever you want in this situation, but you need to be very clear exactly what you want to manifest, because it is going to happen.
Very cool.
Such as manifesting a parking space, but forgetting to manifest that we would be able to pay for it easily. That happened in Chicago at the Parliament of World's Religions.
Yes, it did. So the first card that I have is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is another card of success. It's a card of getting something you've worked for, something that you've wanted. It says, again, being in a fortunate position. With it, we have the Five of Lamps. At the same time that you're in a fortunate position, you're also looking perhaps for deeper meaning. You're looking for a stronger connection to spirit, and it's definitely a spiritual time for you. And with that, we also have the Eight of Wands, which is things moving very quickly. And I think what I would say to that is that while you're waiting for things to happen, they will happen. You'll find that waiting is not necessary, that they're going to move very quickly. And let us draw a card to go with that. We've drawn the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands says that whatever that quickness is, it's to your benefit. The Queen of Wands is a card of prosperity, of having enough for yourself and enough to share with others. So it's a good positive movement forward. And let's draw two more. We have the Three of Cups, which is celebration and community. And the Eight of Cups, which is worrying about things that don't need to be worried about. You can see the little man in the picture is surrounded by phantoms, which being phantoms cannot really hurt him, and yet he's afraid of them. So what I would say, so you may find that there are things that are bothering you at this time as you go forward, but your actual situation is very good. So what I would say is pay no attention beyond what you must to those things that are bothering you, and focus instead on the good things that you have, and you'll find that they far outnumber anything you're worried about. And do be open to the influence of spirit, and I think that you will find it all very positive in that sense. And there you go.
Okay, and checking the end of the chat, Lynn says that makes sense. Thank you. Gal says hello. And wait, did you call him Reverend? I'm new here. Yes, I did. We're both ordained ministers. And Melanie says, thank you both so much.
Thank you, Melanie.
And Brian has asked for a reading about his work situation. And hi, Diane. Nice to see you too.
Okay, so the first card that I have for Brian's work situation is the Eight of Swords. And you can kind of see by looking at it that it is a card of, again, feeling imprisoned or held back by the situation. You may not feel that you can do everything that you want to do in the immediate future. I don't think that is speaking to the general future, but to the immediate future. And the Five of Swords, which has come up earlier in the evening, but it's come up again, kind of says that same thing. You may feel, again, that you're not being able to do some of the things you'd really like to do. You may feel that there's a certain amount of conflict, a certain amount of not being able to handle certain things the way you want to handle them. And with that, we have Temperance, which also came up earlier, and you've seen me shuffling these cards again and again. Temperance, again, is taking things that already exist and making a new thing from them. So you're going to be looking at your work situation and kind of reforming it in some ways, I would think. Not necessarily all of the details of the work, but the details of the situation. And let's see what else we have for you. We have also Two of Swords, so there'll be another person who is very much involved in this. And let's draw another card to go with that. And whoever that person is, what you want from them, you will get from them. We have, again, the Six of Cups, which came up a little earlier. It's influence from the past. Look to things you've done in the past to handle the present. And finally, again, we have the Princess of Cups, which says, don't let your emotions master your thoughts. And altogether, I would say, again, there's a momentary blockage. Don't make it something bigger than it is. Work with the people around you and create a new situation from it. And let's draw one last card, because I can't help myself.
Nope.
And we've drawn the Magus. And the Magus, or the Magician, says that you can make of the situation what you want to make from it. You have everything you will need, but it isn't necessarily what you want from it right now. So create that new situation, bring the things together, and make something new from them. You'll be very happy for it. And there you go.
Okay. Well, Brian, the first card I've got for you is the Veil. So, there is something hidden in the situation. You'll need to determine what that is. The next card I've got is our friend, the Princess of Cups, who is just spending the evening with us. And as Reverend Don said, this is about experiencing your emotions, but don't let them control you and don't make an emotional decision. And then finally, I've got strength, which means while the situation may be challenging, especially right now, you have the ability to deal with it. So seek whatever is hidden from you. And don't go off on them. You hear me, bro? Don't go off on them. I know you. But you have the ability to deal with it. And I hope that is helpful. Okay. And Diane Evans has asked for a reading.
Is this a general reading?
She did not specify.
Well, then it's a general reading, I guess.
It's a general reading. I can scroll down a little. No, she did not say anything else, so we will do a general reading for Diane. And we'll see if the Princess of Cups visits us. I mean, we're at how many times this evening, I think? 4?
I think so.
So the general wisdom for the evening, folks, don't be ruled by your emotions right now. Experience them, acknowledge them, but don't automatically go off on somebody.
I have lost track of which of us is going first this time.
I believe it's me.
Okay.
Okay, so the first card I get is the Seven of Swords. So you're in a situation where you feel like your things are an uphill battle. Now, you can win this fight, but it is going to be a fight. Then we have the Ace of Swords. So we got a whole lot of swords going on. But with the Ace of Swords, action. Your best course is to take action. The worst thing you can do is nothing. Take action. And then finally, I've got the King of Swords, which is talking about being in control of your actions and understanding the consequences. So, uphill battle, but take action, although not action willy-nilly, I guess would be the best way to put it. Consider what you're doing, but do something. Don't overthink it and don't wait too long. Go ahead and do what you know you need to do in this case?
And then for me, the first card that I've drawn is, again, the Eight of Swords, which has shown up several times this evening. The Eight of Swords is saying that you may not feel entirely able to do the things that you want to do in the situation that you're in. With it is the Eight of Lamps, which is mastery of craft, mastery of technique. It is the ability to do what you want. So simultaneously, you have both as eights, a feeling that you cannot do what you want and the ability to do what you want at the same time. So what you want to do is to ignore the feeling that you can't and focus on the fact that you can. This is made a little more complicated by the presence of the Seven of Coins, which says that part of the problem is knowing exactly what it is that you want. So take some time to meditate on that, take some time to think on that, decide what you want and take that action. Because the impression that you can't is false. And let's draw one more and see what it has to say. Well, we're drawing the Three of Wands, which is success, celebration, a very positive card. It says once you're clear on what you want, if you take the action, you will have success and celebration. So ignore the feeling that you can't do what you want and focus on the fact that you can, become clear on what it is, and everything else will take care of itself. And that's what I have for you.
Okay. And next, we've got a question from Fluffy, but it's really about another person. So I don't usually do readings when it's for another person. How do you feel about that one, Reverend Don?
What was the actual question? I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
Diane says, thank you. That makes sense. Thank you, Diane.
You are welcome. The question is, may I get a reading? My mother had a huge mess of medical problems in the last 2 weeks. She spent 4 days in a coma. I gave her permission to leave, move on, or stay in her body. I surrounded her with grace and love. When she did this, she was in the coma. I told her that she's in a coma and that I can hear her respond. She admits she remembers what I said. She blasted all the family that talked to her, but she is treating me with respect. I know she doesn't want to be in her body anymore and tried to leave. It didn't work. Is it possible to find out what she's likely to do? I feel like the issues between me and Mom died when she was in a coma.
Well, that's very good. I can certainly draw a card, but death is a very difficult subject. So I can draw a couple of cards, but whether they will actually tell us what she's going to do is another matter, because that's something I believe the person can change until the last minute. But it may show more what's on her mind. So let's draw 3 cards. Your
Okay.
first card is the Four of Wands, which is achieving something desired. The Moon, which is the influence of spirit. And the Fool, which says that she can do what she wants to do. What I would recommend, I'd see if there's any healing in meditation that she might benefit from. Because if she actually really tired of being here. It may be something that needs healing that would allow her to move on. But since the things between the two of you are healed, um, just see where she's at. As I look at it, I'd say that she can do whatever she truly wants to do. And that, from what you've said, I think that would probably mean crossing over relatively soon, but I don't, because I don't know the lady, I'm not entirely sure I want to go that far. But it's where her true desire is that matters at this time. Let me draw one more. And I've drawn the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups says that, it certainly could be worse where she is, but it's not everything that she wants. And again, I think she will have the ability to move forward, but she may need to do some more meditation. And that's what I would say. But when it comes to questions that involve the end of life, I always point out that my aunt, Gloria, lived for 20 years on a quarter of a lung because she was not ready to go. My mother, who had a relatively positive prognosis, psychics were getting positive answers for her, and she went ahead and crossed because she was ready to go. And it really, I think, comes down to where the person actually is, and they can change it right up until the last minute. And so when we talk about what she truly wants, that's where the heart of the question is.
Thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then our next question is for Kate. And again, we're hitting around another question about someone else. So I don't normally do these. There's this guy, a friend who never dates and never dated. He says it's because he doesn't have time, but I think there's more to it. I'd love to see him with someone wonderful. Any insight?
Well, it's always easier to read for the person.
Yeah.
I could draw a couple of cards. We can see what they have to say. But again, it's
Okay.
easier to read if you're actually reading for the person. So for this gentleman, the first card that I'm drawing is the Ten of Lamps, which is mastery of skill, mastery of magic, mastery of the things you want in life. And so I would be inclined to say they may be quite happy how they are. With it is the Princess of Cups, which is, again, not allowing emotions to make your judgments for you, and strength. So what I would really say is that this person is pretty much happy where they're at. Let's see if there's anything further we can get on that. Well, we got the Magas, which says that they can do what they would like to do. And if they are alone, I would say they actually want to be alone. They may not be fully conscious of that. But not everybody necessarily wants to be in a relationship. It may be that that this is simply where they really want to be, at least at this moment. It could change over time. Let me draw one more.
because.
Mhm. So I've drawn the Seven of Wands, and what I would be inclined to say is if they actually want, um, if they find they want a relationship, there are some things they have to work out first. There are issues there. I don't think it's going to tell us what those are because it's not the person. But there are things that would need to be worked out. But overall, I think they're pretty happy where they're at. So that's what I would offer.
Okay. Let's see what else we have here. And Arlene asks, what is the best path for this weekend? And I'm really tempted to say the one less traveled, Arlene. But let's pull some cards and see what they say. And we are going to have to cut off new questions fairly soon. We're getting to the top of the hour.
Yes, we are. And Kate says, thank you so very much. Very good to know. Thank you, Kate.
Well, Arlene, I'll go first here. I've got the Magnet, which is saying, you can make the path you want. I have the Two of Swords, which is indicating that you will be working with someone else. And I've got the Four of Cups, which says that what you've got is good, but maybe you're looking for something else for this weekend. And then I've got the Four of Wands, which says that you are going to achieve something you have been wanting. So, I hope that's helpful.
So for myself, if I were actually doing a reading directly for Arlene, I would at this point be asking what are the options? Because obviously there are certain options here that we don't know about. So we can only speak generally because we don't know that. So let's see what the cards have to say. So, first card I drew was the Two of Lamps, which we've drawn several times. So I decided to draw another one to go with it. I got Death. Both of these really are the same in certain ways. The Two of Lamps is building something new in the future using things that are already there. Death is transformation. I would say that you're maybe in a position where there are certain aspects of transformation happening for you. Not necessarily just this weekend, but at this time in life. Building new things for the future. With that, we have the Five of Coins, which says, yeah, you may not get to do everything you want to do this weekend. But at the same time, we also have the High Priestess. And the High Priestess says, trust your guidance, trust your inner voice, trust spirit within your life. So looking at them all, I would say that this is kind of a time of looking at things you want to change in life. Looking at the cards that Mary drew, I noticed that one of them was the Four of Wands, which is not a bad situation, but not everything that you want. That's kind of what I think you're going to find the weekend is like. Let me draw a couple more for you. And yeah, that's kind of what they say. First, we have the Five of Wands, which is looking for spiritual guidance, looking to bring spirit more fully into your life. With it is the Ten of Coins, which is happiness. So although we're saying that not everything is going to be the way you want it to be this weekend, it will be overall a happy time. Just be aware that there's that need for change, that need for transformation that's coming up. And magic, of course, is the transformation. It's the ability to work what you want in your life. So I would say that it could be a very good weekend, but not necessarily in the ways that you would normally think. So focus on self-development, focus on what you really want in your life, and I think that will come nicely this weekend.
Okay. And
we have 4 minutes left.
We got 4 minutes left, and we've got 2 requests left. So we will take care of them, and we are not taking any more requests. So Mel has asked for a reading, no question, so it's a general reading.
Okay. So the first card that I've drawn is the Princess of Lamps. And the Princess of Lamps, in its strictest meaning, is sorcery, or using spiritual abilities to move yourself forward. So it's saying that as you heal generally in this time period, 2, 4, 6 weeks, that general time period, make sure you're focusing on moving yourself forward. It's very easy to be caught in other things. Don't be. Stay focused on your path and move yourself forward. With that, we have the Five of Swords. And I have to point out the Five of Swords has shown up in a lot of readings tonight. This kind of reminds me of when Edward was reading in Salem and kept getting that people were going to have vacations the following spring, and it was COVID. It leads me to wonder what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks that may be taking a lot of people's attention. So I'm just going to kind of say I think there's something there that may be taking a lot of people's attention. In this case, don't give it your attention. Keep your attention on yourself. But it's going to try. And with that, we have the Princess of Coins. Princess of Coins is having everything you need, but holding back. Let me draw a card to go with that. I've drawn the Empress. The Empress is prosperity and good things. I would say that while you may feel the need to hold back, you shouldn't, and you should move forward on your own path. That is the number one thing for you at this time, and it will bring you prosperity and good things. So focus on yourself and move forward, and you'll be quite happy. Do not be drawn apart by things that don't really involve you, but stay focused on your path.
Okay. And to complete the princess. Sorry, go ahead.
I said, even if the world seems to be burning.
Yeah. So I have the Princess of Wands, which represents a young woman bound by protocol, so she does not express herself very well. So clearly, that's not what you need to do here. Next, we have the Queen of Lamps, which is building on the Princess of Lamps, I believe, and talking about working on your own development. Express yourself, develop yourself, and with the Six of Wands, you will achieve what you desire. So keep moving forward. Don't lose your focus, even if the world does catch on fire in the next couple of weeks. But it always does, and then we put it out. And our final question is from Maple. I would ask, what is the best path forward for me to help bring the goddess back into this world? And thank you. Lynn says, thank you again to both of you for giving so generously of your time and acknowledgement. Very much appreciated. Blessed be and have a safe Labor Day. You're
Thank you.
welcome, Lynn. And you can, let's see, you went first, so I will go first with Maple. Although I have to say, the goddess is always in this world. She has been less acknowledged, perhaps, or acknowledged in more hidden ways, but she never left. But let's see what the cards have to say. Maple. Okay, so the first card is the stars. And this means you need to be connecting with your higher self and or your spirit guides or however you view that for advice on how you need to proceed. Then I've got magic. So you have the ability to do it. And interestingly, that you say you want her to be given her due place in society, as I pull the Six of Pentacles, which is talking about working in the material realm and having enough resources to accomplish what you want. So you need to meditate, pray, whatever your spiritual practice is, to find what your plan should be. And I'm going to pull one more card, and I've got Mind, which means gather more information. So you need to be gathering some more information and come up with your plan, and you will find the resources to execute. Now it's your turn.
So the first card that I've drawn is the Four of Lamps. The Four of Lamps is divine guidance. You can see that the lady in the card is looking out toward the moon. And so what I would say is allow yourself to be guided, again, by spirit, by the goddess as such. And let that lead you forward. With it, we have the Eight of Cups, which says, do not be frightened by things that are not real. That could have to do with thinking of all the things that could stop you, all the things that you might need that you don't have. Don't worry about any of those things. The thoughts will come, the worry will come, set them aside. And we have the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups really says, listen again to your spirit guide, but you have the Nine of Cups as the wish card. So it can be either the best or the worst card in the deck, depending what you wish for. Make sure you're clear on what you wish for and talk again to your guides, to your patron deity, to whoever you talk to, and make sure that you're clear on what you want to do, and don't let other things just deter you from it. Go forward with it, and let's draw one more card. And we've drawn the Three of Cups, which is celebration, happiness, very positive card. So it basically says, really listen to your higher self and follow where it leads, and don't be drawn aside by anything else. And if you do that, you'll be able to do what you want to do here.
Okay. And with that, we are coming to the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Reverend Don. I want to thank everyone who joined us in the chat and offered us questions. And would you like to give us a prayer before we leave?
Certainly. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all the things you do in our lives. And we ask you to help us by giving us the information we need to deal with all the situations in our lives. Help us to be still enough to hear the inner voice when it speaks to us, and to follow that voice, and to move forward, hand in hand with you. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we know you are always with us, but from respect, we thank you for your presence, and may you blessed be now and always.
And again, thank you, everyone. You can join Reverend Don tomorrow live at noon Central Time. Whatever channel you're watching this on, he will be live for Midday with Reverend Don. I'll be back next Thursday for Tarot Thursday, and Reverend Sir Brian will be my guest reader. Until then, blessed be everyone.